Well, some civil groups and unions in South Africa have vowed to disrupt Thursday's State of the Nation address by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, they're calling for the president to abandon the State of the Nation address and resign. According to the opposition parties, Ramaphosa has undermined the constitution through the Phala saga and is not fit to address the parliament. However, the ANC alliance, COSATU, says they expect President Ramaphosa to address the unemployment rate and account for his promises to the working class. COSATU Secretary General Soli Fetoe joins me on the news to unpack this. Good to see you and thanks for your time. Now, opposition parties say President Ramaphosa has been promising without any action and should resign immediately. Let's have your take on this.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you very much to your viewers for allowing us to have this engagement or state our position in relation to the call of some opposition party. From our side as COSATU, we do not think that the calling for the president to resign is a way of resolving the issue. But we think that the way of pushing government as a whole, not president alone, because President Ramaphosa is a political leader of a party that is leading in government, and in that government there are a number of opposition parties that are also part of government. Now, our call is that we need to hold this government responsible. We need to make sure that in the commitment that they are going to make in the national address that the president is going to make tomorrow, State of the Nation address, we demand that we need those commitments with the action, in particular on issues like the unemployment rate that is increasing on a daily basis. And we think that it's the responsibility of government working with the private sector, push the private sector as per the National Job Summit that was pushed and forced government to convene the National Job Summit in 2019 from the decision or from the Section 77 certificate that we obtained as COSATU from NEDLAC, which involved now 4 constituencies in South Africa, which is labor, government, business, and community. In that case, government made a commitment, but also the private sector made a commitment to protect the current jobs that we have, but also to increase the jobs in South Africa. And what we've seen, it has been happening since that time, is a strike, what we call investment strike, that was led by business people. So we want President Ramaphosa in his State of the Nation address tomorrow to say what action that they are going to take in making sure that they are...
Let me jump in here, Soli. That's on the one hand. But again, if you look at some of the failures according to the opposition, it shows that the president is failing to hold accountable to some of the things done wrongly by his ministers. And they think that their call is justified.
Well, I can't hear you. There's a sign of a network problem. I'm not sure whether...
I'll take that again. The opposition is saying one of the key failures of the president is to act in places where his ministers have failed to deliver the goods to the people.
Well, we agree, but not in totality. As I said, some of this opposition party, they're in government. What role are they playing in terms of making sure that there's an oversight role, there's an oversight responsibility of certain portfolio committee members to hold those ministers accountable? That is why we also said to the president, which is one of the call that the trade union movement or COSATU were making, that the president must intensify and strengthen the capacity of the NPA, the capacity of the SIU, the capacity of the SAPS to deal with those who are implicated in the Zondo Commission. And I think you can see yourself that the president has started to act in relation to those who are implicated on corruption activities. But we also said that yes, the president must hold the the ministers accountable, but those presidents are accountable to the people of South Africa, including those political parties. There are a number of things that we can raise, but we think that by calling for the president to resign or step aside is not going to resolve the problem.
Well, the State of the Union address is something every South African African look forward to. And on Thursday, the president will address the nation. Quickly here, before you leave, what are your expectations?
Well, our expectation is that, one, as I said, the president must talk about how are they going to reduce the plan to reduce the unemployment, which is 43%. Two is that what will be the stand, as we have called for the state of the disaster in relation to the energy crisis. What will be the plan from government in making sure that they reduce the load shedding, because load shedding is contributing, electricity or energy is contributing to the unemployment rate. The third issue will be the president to outline the program in relation to deal with the issues of corruption, deal with the issues of the criminality, the crime that we're seeing in South Africa increasing, but also deal with the issue of building the relationship with the public sector, in the public servants in relation to service delivery. If we really want to build what is called the developmental state, we need to improve the morale of the public servant. And the other issue is an issue of dealing with the gender-based violence, to deal with the issue of the state of the municipalities that are collapsing in South Africa. And we really want to, as we said earlier on, this time we want the president to say, we are committing ourselves with action. We've gone out from issues of promises with no action. Yes, you are correct. We would want the president to take action against those ministers who are deployed in government, who are holding key strategic positions, but they are not improving. There's no improving of service delivery. He must take a lead, and that's why we said with the state of the disaster of electricity or energy crisis, we want President Cyril Ramaphosa to lead it, because if you leave it to the ministers, you're going to continue to see what we see today, and that's our call.
COSATU Secretary General Solly Fatoa, many thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.